Happy 4th of July, y'all. I hope you guys all had a phenomenal extended weekend. I hope you got to hang out with friends and family. I hope you got some good sunshine. I hope you've been enjoying the explosive gains in the stock market, because that's what I really want to talk about in this video. Well, to be fair, there's two major things I want to get into in this specific video. Number one, why I believe the overall market, the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100, I want to talk about why I believe it's going to keep pumping higher. But the second thing I want to get into is why one particular equity that I know we all love, I'm talking about Tesla, ticker symbol TSLA. Well, I think there's going to be some rough waters ahead, if you will. But before we get into all that, if you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video with a friend. With that being said, let's rock. When the old stock market closed on the shortened trading week, we did hit a new all-time high. Dow jumps more than 300 points, S&P 500 sets up new record after a strong June jobs report. Here's a look at the S&P 500. Yes, we clocking a brand new all-time high, which means ever since this dip that we saw in early April, we've now rallied almost 27%. So not just record-breaking, but what an incredible V-shaped recovery. And it wasn't just the S&P 500. Yes, the SPY having a great day and gaining about 0.8%. So does the Nasdaq, about 1%. Small cap sector technically not at a new high the way the SPY and the Qs are, but nice upswing. And then right now, as you can see, I'm filming this real time. We have Bitcoin pumping from about 108 to about 109. So probably should dive into what in the world's happening there. But clearly, it's not just the overall market indices. We're seeing a lot of individual equities crush. This is the heat map of the S&P 500, pretty much as green as it could possibly get. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on this because I believe when it comes to the market, it's far more important to understand where you're going than where you've been, but it can be helpful to add a little bit of a framework. So to understand why we hit a new all-time high, well, at least recently, why there was a bit of bullishness, I alluded to it at the start of this video with that headline of what's going on with the jobs. Basically, when we kicked off the week, we got the ADP numbers. They weren't so good. The market took a little bit of a hit, but then there was clearly resilience. And then to close out the week on the half trading day on Thursday, we actually got some legitimately good unemployment numbers, some good job numbers, and that is very much the reason why, at least to close out the shortened trading week, we pumped to absolute bullish utopia. So now that we have a slightly better idea of how we got to where we are, let me explain to you why I think we're gonna keep going, at least with respect to the overall market. The big thing this upcoming week is the US trade tariff war, whatever you want to call it. There's a deadline coming up. US trade partners race for deals as Trump readies tariff notices. Trade deadlines and oil drama set to stage for a crunch week in global markets. As of the point that I'm filming this, July 9th is the major deadline. We're told it's not going to be switched, but we've also been told that in the past. So yes, obviously the can could get kicked down the road, but I believe early this week, we're going to get a flurry of announcements. Now, is it going to be major trade partners such as the Euro trading bloc? Probably not, but I think a lot of individual countries are going to come in and basically use the framework of deals that are already struck and say, hey, we'll take something similar. And before you know it, we're going to get a lot of updates of trade deal, trade deal, trade deal. Now, of course, I think this goes without saying, but it's a giant unknown. Maybe, just maybe, we get negative news and trade deals aren't struck and the market says, what in the world's going on? And of course, that could produce some bearishness. But with respect to the higher probability pathways, well, I'd be willing to bet that trade deals are struck and the market goes higher on removing that uncertainty rather than really the opposite scenario. In terms of macroeconomic data drops, there's not really that much going down this upcoming week. We do have a 10-year note auction on Wednesday, a 30-year bond auction on Thursday. We have the normal Friday stuff, FOMC meeting minutes. But with respect to the past couple weeks and all the data drops we've been getting, this one's actually a really quiet week. Now, I fully understand how the market does react or doesn't react to news or lack of news. It's a lot of uncertainty, but one thing we know for sure is we are in the most bullish seasonal period of the entire year. Depending on the time frame you look at, the 3-year, the 5, the 30, or even 100 years worth of data, mid-July is the most bullish period of the entire year. This is a look at the last 3 decades worth of data from a seasonal standpoint. The end of June to pretty much the end of July, the bulls are absolutely dominant. Now, once again, this is a 30-year slice. If you look at the past 3 years, you could see we are in this pocket of bullishness, and the same thing for the past 5 years. It really doesn't change. It changes a little bit, but overall, the TLDRs right here, this period, especially up into the July OPEX, the bulls are dominant. Is that a guarantee? No, you can find some examples of this really not working in case of the bulls, but you would be really hard pressed to find an example of that in the past 10 years. As in the past 10 years, the NASDAQ has been green every single month of July, 10 out of 10 times. And when you talk about the S&P 500, it's been green 9 out of 10 times. So to put that another way, pretty much however you slice it, the bulls run the month of July. Now, when I consider that, with the fact that I believe it's more likely than not that trade deals will be announced, it makes me that much more confident in the bullish direction. Unfortunately, I can't say that about every individual equity. I think Elon Musk's Tesla is about to get rocked. Elon Musk says he's forming America Party. The billionaire announced the new political party on social media without offering evidence he had taken steps to create it. Elon Musk says he has formed a new U.S. political party, the America Party. Musk says the party, which he calls the America Party, would focus on just 2 or 3 Senate seats and 8 to 10 House districts. Now, very quickly, just in case you're not up to date on the drama between the world's most powerful man, President Trump, and the world's richest man, Elon Musk, it all has to do with the recent bill that was passed. Trump signs the One Big Beautiful Bill during a military family picnic. Once again, Trump and his, close orbit of people, very happy this got passed. Other people looking at the alleged spending that this will increase, such as Musk, not happy whatsoever. Independence Day is the perfect time to ask if you want independence from the two-party, some would say uniparty system. Should we create the America Party? Yes versus no, obviously 65% going to the yes. By a factor of 2 to 1, you want a new political party and you shall have it. When it comes to bankrupting our country with waste and graft, we live in a one-party system, not a democracy. Today, the America Party is formed to give you back your freedom. First off, I have a question for all of you. Watching this right now, first of all, if you made it to this point in the video, thank you. Do you think this is a smart move? Would you join the America Party? Or do you think it's something stupid that you don't agree with whatsoever? Please let me know in a comment below. I just kind of want to get a better understanding of where the audience is at. Now, second, and probably more important, why do I believe that this particular drama, this narrative, is going to be, in the short term, negative and bearish for Tesla stock? Well, it doesn't take really a rocket scientist to realize that over the past month or two, whenever Elon has really fought with Trump, and he's done it multiple times, and it's really all been centered around this big, beautiful bill and the increase in spending, Tesla gets rocked. On the screen now is Tesla's daily chart, and you can see there was one big dip here. Once again, this was Musk fighting with Trump, and that was about early June, and then once again in late June, guess what? Musk and Trump fighting again. Every single time this happens, we're just seeing the stock get rocked. And that makes sense because investors are probably going to get a little worried of if Trump were to retaliate with all the power that he has, he could really damage the company. Now, I should be clear here. I truly believe this is only going to be a short-term issue. In the long term, I strongly believe Tesla is going to be a very successful company. But since we're here for daily market news, I should let you know in the short term, I think there could be some legitimate pain. Now, how far could it go? Obviously, you'd have a technical breakdown around 300, 290, then there's more support at 273. From an options perspective, there's a lot of people focusing on 290 and 300. So that's the zone that I would personally be paying attention to. If I see support being built there, of course, I'll be buying it and trying to ride it back up. Now, if that breaks, we could get into a real issue of the high volatility point of 285. And if we snap that, it could send things even lower. So I have no crystal ball telling me which way this is or isn't going to break, but obviously I'll be watching for the price reaction somewhere in the high 200s. And for those of you who might think that this is overblown and people are overreacting and nothing's really going to happen, we're already seeing the reaction and the market's not even open. Investment firm Azoria postpones Tesla ETF after Musk plans political party. This is simply one example of many you could already find one day later of how Wall Street is saying, hey, we don't necessarily want to be involved in a fight with the president of the United States, so maybe we'll just wait on the sidelines and see how things settle. So with all that being said, I would love to hear your thoughts in a comment below, because obviously these are just my own opinions, and hey, maybe I'm missing something. I hope you had a great 4th of July. I hope you enjoyed the extended weekend. I hope you're relaxed and recharged for the upcoming trading week, because it's bound to be explosive, and fingers crossed for new all-time highs. I appreciate all the good vibes. I'll catch you in the next one.